What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How y'all doing out there in fish tank land? Today I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a dirty fish room tour. Don't go anywhere. Alright y'all, it's been really long since I've done a fish room tour. It's probably been like almost a year since I've done a full fish room tour of all my tanks and everything I have going on. I've just been so reluctant to do it. I'll film it and then I'll be like, oh, it looks different now, and then I'll just delete that, and then, or whatever. I've filmed it like 6 times and I've just deleted it and I've never shared it. I don't know, it's bad. So I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, some of my tanks are dirty, it is what it is, but I want you guys to see everything I got going on in my fish room right now. Got a lot of cool stuff that I've got going on, and I'm trying to get this video out pretty quickly because I have to make my way to a boat and I head across to the big island to go collect 4 more 10-gallon aquariums, which I'm getting at cost from a local fish store that we have on the big island. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys through my living room, and then we're going to go through into my kitchen space and my kitchen slash fish room, and show you all the little products I've got going on in there as well. So let's get going. Alright you guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to keep this short and sweet. I'm doing this all free-handed, so it's going to be a little shaky, but I'm going to try not to make you guys too nauseous. So first I want to go ahead and show you guys my Blackwater biotope. We'll make it around the room, and then I'll show you my kitchen space. Okay, first off we have my Blackwater Amazon biotope. We have all of my lights and reflections in the background, but we have my 2 pair of spawning angelfish. Really awesome. I really love those guys. I got a story behind them, how I got them. They're both rescues. Pretty cool. And then I do have a group of 8 CW109 Corridoras, which are down here in the bottom, hanging out, loving life, and all the leaf litter. I have a nice assortment of leaf litter, everything from sea grape tree, West Indian almond, all kinds of banana palm frond, date palm, and all kinds of stuff. And I have more stuff I'm adding to it all the time. So really cool little biotope here. I'm all about my Blackwater biotopes and all about leaf litter and tannins, that's for sure. So that's probably one of my favorite tanks, and probably the simplest of tanks. Here's my 29-gallon bow face tank. I still got my lights on from filming, so it is what it is. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much of a reflection. But we have my 29-gallon bow face tank in here. I have a couple of different caves set up. This is home to my apistogramma rubelliniatus. You see them right around here hanging out. They are wild caught from Peru, from the Madre de Dios River Basin. There is a couple other random fish in here that have survived. They have a harlequin respora, which is actually a little deformed. I got him that way. I wanted to give him a chance at a happy life. There was a whole group of them in here, and most of them have passed away. But I have him in there. He's lasted a little over a year. The rest of them have passed. They're about a year and a half or so old, the whole group. There's also 2 neon tetras back there hiding out in the back, which have managed to stay alive. And then I also do have up here in the top little corner over here, I do have a glass catfish that is chilling, and that was a rescue as well, covered in ick, and managed to save him or her. You see one of the female rubelliniatus, Pistogramma rubelliniatus. That's her little cave there, that coconut. And as far as I know, she's got some eggs, or she's got some wigglers or fry up in there going on, but I haven't bothered her to find out what's going on in there. But she's been holding up in that cave for about 2 or 3 weeks now. So that's my Pistogramma tank pretty much. And then over here we have my rack of 5 tanks here. It's 4 20-gallons and a 55-gallon hex tank. I have it turned around because the front face was really scratched up, and I just wanted one solid face, you know, for a tank. I didn't want to have the seams of 3 pieces of glass in the front, so I spun it around backwards. This has a little group of some mixed Indler and Guppy just hanging out in here. They're kind of dither and food for Mr. Elliot, which is my brackish water snowflake moray eel. And I got a little bit of algae on this tank, just a little bit. It doesn't get much worse than that. It kind of stops at that, so I don't really clean it too much. Plus, this eels can stress out pretty easy, so I try to stay out of that tank. I don't try to clean the glass too much because if you stress out the eel, he won't eat. And he's hiding out in the back because he sees me up here real close. There he is inside this little cave. He probably could use a nice piece of fresh raw shrimp. I'm sure he'd be happy about that. But I love him a lot. He's a really nice eel. I've had him for over 2 years, and I've read that most people don't keep them for more than 2 or 3 years. They don't usually last that long in captivity. But he's doing well, but I definitely need to set up this tank a little bit better for him. I'd like to give him a little bit more of a natural biotope. I don't like having plastic. That plastic log thing is the only fake thing that I have in any of my aquariums, really, and I'd like to totally revamp this tank for him, and that'll be a video for you guys as well. So down here on the rack, these 20-gallon tanks, I have a paludarium here. This is a paludarium with a mix of immersed aquatic plants. You have Hygrophila angustifolia. I have some Sterogen ripens, and I also have some Hydrocotyl Japanese and lots of different stuff, even some plants that I brought back from Peru that are in there. And I have a little colony of local wild guppies from here in the Virgin Islands down here in the water. There's a little waterfall in the background. It's not kicking very strong, but I didn't really clean this tank. I didn't clean the glass at all for you guys, so I'm sorry that it's a little bit cloudy in here. A little bit of algae. But that's one of my more favorite tanks as well. I love paludariums. I look forward to doing some more of those in the future. As we have over here, this is the Yellow King Kong tank. This is my Yellow King Kong Caridina shrimp tank. It's pretty much all I have in there. A nice little Amazon sword and some, Java moss and stuff like that. But there's a huge colony of them in here. A lot of people are telling me I'm completely breaking the rules because of the water parameters in here. Are more like 500 TDS and about 7.2 pH, which is totally not the proper parameters. Plus, that's gravel. That's not fluval stratum or eco-complete. This is actually an old dirted tank that I haven't gotten rid of or haven't changed out and rescaped since I stopped my dirted, planted, dirted, that whole Wallstad method thing. So, they're doing really good though. I have thousands of shrimp in here and they seem pretty happy. So I basically have a really hardy strain of Caridina shrimp because they've managed to take a lot. And down here at the bottom, this is my only real totally like aquascape, kind of more of a Dutch style or just totally aquascape tank. There's about 18 different species of plants in this aquarium. All I have for fish in here is just a pair of fancy guppies. These were from Guppy Train. The female seems to be sterile. She is never bred. He also has a pretty huge Guppodium, so that might have something to do with it as well. But I've medicated her with everything, trying to make sure she's completely dewormed, and it still hasn't affected her ability to drop any fry. So I've never gotten any babies from them. But that's the only fish in there. I do have some Neocaridina red cherry shrimp. You can see a little bit of them at the bottom there. And just about 18 different species of plants. I always put a little bit of cutting of about everything I ever get in here and just see how it does. I have some nice Bucephalandra in there. I have a couple of different kinds of Nubius and some crypts, and I have my favorite right there in the back center, which is the Hygrophila angustifolia. And I don't know what kind of grass this is. It has proven to become pretty prolific and is trying to spread out throughout the tank, but I don't know exactly what species that is. But this is probably the greenest of all of my tanks. This is probably my favorite here. This next tank, this is my favorite tetra that I have. This is the Nigricinctus, which is, these are wild caught from Peru as well. It's more of a Blackwater tetra. I look forward to putting this in my my 55-gallon Amazon biotope tank over there. But they've all pretty much grown out. They're really, really nice fish. They were half this size when I got them, but they're looking really, really nice now. I love that black bar with that gold line across the top. Really impressive. But I definitely have neglected this tank just a little bit. Definitely have a little bit of string algae going on in here. I have to pretty much want to just deal with this tank without the fish, and I want to get them moved over to the Amazon biotope, and then
and work on doing something completely different with this aquarium. So, but I love these tetra. They're really impressive. I think the common name is the Imperial tetra, but pretty fish, pretty fish, and they make a really nice school. I would never want to separate these guys. I definitely look forward to trying, once I get an infusoria tank, I definitely look forward to trying to spawn these as well. You know, I'll definitely give them a try, that's for sure. So that's really all of the tanks I have here in the living room. I've got the 5, 6, 7 tanks here, and these are really just more of my fish gallery. These are the nice looking tanks that I'm allowed to have in the living room. And then in my kitchen, let's see what I got for light in here. I really didn't prepare with any other lighting. I have my my water treatment plant, basically, as I will call it, my RODI system inside this chamber, the glass door on it. And if you guys haven't checked out my RODI setup video, I got a little video on how I set this whole thing up. But it's actually running right now as we speak. That pump kicks on every once in a while. I want to rig it up a little bit better and get some other filters on here soon enough, some other pre-filters. But that's my RODI setup. It's filling up this brute garbage can right now as we speak. I got a little water alarm set up, and it's about halfway full right now. Definitely have to turn that off before I hit the road to go to the big island and get these tanks. I've got some grow out tubs over here with a little bit of an Endler breeding program, and these 2 tubs right now I have to cull them out. That's a video coming up soon. Over here on the other side of the kitchen here, I have my blue bolt tank, and I got a lot of algae on the glass right now. Not really algae, mostly just like diatoms going on right now. That golden brown on the glass, and they're pretty prolific blue bolts. They're doing really well. I'm not going to do much with the lighting there. I can't really show you that, but they're really nice. I'm really happy with them. I want to cull them out a little bit. I want to get one of these other 10 gallons I got coming in, get it full of some fluvial and whatnot, and I'm going to go ahead and take out my A team out of here and just clean up the line, just like I want to do with the Yellow King Kongs as well. I have this little tank back here in the corner. I got some hornwort in there and some snails. There's nothing going on in there really, but I want to clean that out and keep that as a quarantine tank. I got this rack that I just got not too long ago, and those 10 gallons are going to go on the bottom shelf or the second shelf. I got to move some things around. It's a total mess. My fish room is so totally dirty, and I know that, and I'm just going for it. I'm going to show you everything anyways. This is the Blackwater tank I have getting set up for a pair of wild betas that is coming. Now that light is on full. That's a bright light on there, and that's how dark the water is. I got a couple of local wild guppies in there just to help to just kind of cycle the tank, get some fish poop going on there to cycle the tank. But there's lots of leaf litter, a bunch of Anubias nano petite in there, and they're all doing well in this low light. They can totally take super low light. So you see I got some stuff starting to grow on the glass. There's microorganisms and stuff all on that glass. I'd love to get that under a microscope and show it to you, but this tank is definitely still cycling a little bit. It's got some things going on in there, but it's all good stuff. So you know, just to give you an example how bright that light is, I spin it around and throw it on this tank over here. That just gives you an idea how dark that water is over there in that tank. This is my little colony. There's about 150 fish in here, easy. These are some local wild guppies that I've collected here on the island of St. John. I got some Java moss and some Anubias floating, and just some plants, random plants in there hanging out. But it's a nice healthy colony of local wild guppies. Some of this was planned to go. I planned on sending some of that out to Rack from River Life and Greg Jones from My Aquarium Box, but now with the cold weather, kind of have to hold off on these guys and wait a little bit to ship them. So we'll see how that goes. I got this tank down here below. This is another 10-gallon aquarium. This is my Tetra tubapatensis. And this is actually one of my more favorite tanks. There's definitely some diatoms and stuff going on in the glass, a little bit of algae and some blackbeard algae going on there, a little dirty but healthy. This is the nano blue tetra,
and I have about 17 of them in there, and then there's one random Madeirae, I think. Madeirae, I think is the strain of Titocharx Madeirae, or Madeira. Anyways, but the rest of them are the Tabapatensis, and I really love these fish. I'm glad that they've done so well for me. They're really healthy. I feed them a lot of live foods, micro worms, Walter worms, banana worms, and baby brine shrimp, live baby brine shrimp, and they're super healthy. You know, they're super healthy with all that. They're loving it. The scape has gotten a little out of control. The grass is doing well, so I'm just hanging out with it, just giving it some time. Just have patience and just let things go on their own a little bit. Let things happen naturally. Up here on the top shelf, I've got a quarantine tank. This kind of more of an infusoria tank right now. I got stuff, man. I got so much stuff collected, so much stuff. I need to really organize with these 4 more aquariums coming in. I need to go through all my stuff. I just got all kinds of stuff on these shelves. Just piles. I'm being a bad fish keeper right now. Look at all this stuff. Just piled up. Piled up. All this stuff down here. I got these coconuts and all these different dried botanical seed pods, filters, heaters, lights that are broken or need to get fixed. Brand new bag of Eco Complete. I got so much stuff I need to deal with. I got all my my live foods up here. This is awesome little tray for breeding live baby brine shrimps. I have 2 of them. I've got another one in the back. It's made by Hobby, a German company, I believe. Really awesome. I have my banana worms. They're doing well. I have my Walter worms, and in the back there I have my micro worms. And these Walter worms are getting really close to the top. They're going nuts. I've never seen them get that high up the container. Yeah, the banana worms are up to about there. Anyways, I should definitely go feed some of these to some guys, and definitely work on feeding them something as well. So that's really everything that I got going on right now. Got these 4 aquariums I gotta go pick up here in a minute. Really stoked about these blue bolts. Really stoked. I got them from Rob over at Flip Aquatics. I cannot forget to turn off that water before I leave. I cannot forget that. That could be a bad thing. Got Nova hanging out on a chair chilling. I got Jasper chilling as well, just hanging out. They're both like, what is going on? You're talking a lot to that box in your hand. Anyways, so these are all my tanks. Super stoked about them all. Really happy. Just trying to get everybody really healthy and get the tanks kind of balanced before I take off on a little bit of a Christmas vacation to see family. But anyways, I do have to get out of here. I got to go get on this boat, go shoot across to the Big Island, go collect these 4 10-gallon aquariums from a friend of mine who owns a fish store over there, VIP Pets. Really cool guy, Anthony. He's an awesome kid. I really do appreciate everything he does for me and supporting me in my hobby and whatnot. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of you that subscribe to my content, that like it and share it. It means the world to me. If you're not subscribed to this content, you like it, you want to see more of it, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below. And remember guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.